Good afternoon and welcome to the Federation's daily live stream. My name is Leslie and I am the coordinator of the MassPAC project and I'm here to talk about MassPAC Monday. Welcome to June and hopefully you're enjoying some of this beautiful spring weather that we're having and the sun shines out and that'll help us get through some of these trying times that we've been going through. Schools are still closed here in Massachusetts and we are constantly looking towards the changes that are happening. But I just want to take this time to remind people that we are also experiencing a crisis around how our Black community in our country is experiencing a lot of challenges, and that we have issued at the Federation have issued a statement in support for the Black community. So I suggest that you take a look at that and join us as we stand with the Black community and support them. So today on Friday, on MassPAC Monday, we're going to review some of the guidance that has been issued from the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. There was a presentation to special ed administrators last Friday, and it covered several announcements, which I'll go over. And then there was some guidance that was issued yesterday on June 7th. So with respect to some of the announcements, the website Learning Ally is being made free to students in districts that register with that site. That is a wonderful resource for students to access online books and digital media around books and textbooks. It was a great resource for my family. My dyslexic son used the reading for, it used to be called the Reading for Blind and Dyslexic. It's now Learning Ally. And so if that would be of help to your student, that's something you should check with your school district to see if they have registered. It's being offered free through the end of August. So that might be a great resource for you to get some online books. The speech and language policies for telepractice, that has been updated, and now all states in New England have exceptions due to COVID-19. So if that's another resource that your student needs and needs to access telepractice and teletherapy, once again, check with your school district to make sure that that's in place. For those students who are in the Turning 3 program, they're coming out of early intervention and being referred to the public school district for special education services. There has been extensions through the end of the summer. So that's for students who have been evaluated and qualify for special education at age 3. Their school district can now contract with early intervention services and pay for those services. So it's a way of continuing the services for those students who are kind of caught in limbo before school starts again to access early intervention services. So if you're in that window and your student has been receiving early intervention services and it's not continuing, once again, talk to your school district and see how you can keep those services continuing for your student. We know that MCAS was canceled this spring, and that will affect a lot of students who were due to graduate or needed to have those tests completed and pass those 3 tests, English language arts, math, and a science test, to earn a competency determination, to earn one of the legs of the standards to accept a diploma here in Massachusetts. Students have to attend schools, complete all the local requirements, and pass MCAS. And because that was changed, the standards for competency determination have changed. And if your student fell into one of this area where their classes and their course material could now satisfy the requirement of MCAS, you want to make sure that that information is being transferred so that the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education can authorize the awarding of a diploma to your student, even though they have not passed one of those MCAS tests. So that's kind of something else that was announced on Friday. And the last thing that was announced was regarding summer guidance for extended school year. And on Friday, there was a preliminary announcement, and it said it would be followed up by further guidance, possibly on June 9th. And we found out yesterday that that additional guidance did come out from the Department of Education around allowing some opportunity for in-person extended school year services for students on IEPs. So the guidance overview is that school districts are to identify those students most at need, those high priority students. They're supposed to hire appropriate staff to be available to uh, serve students in an person, in an in-class environment. The school districts are advised to purchase all the PPE, the personal protection equipment that they will need to safely operate these in-person classes, develop all the protocols that they need within the schools, and to do training for their staff around not only COVID-19, but all of the protocols that they have in place. And so this is a change from what we were hearing that all extended school year would happen remotely. And school district was told to plan for both. And now the go ahead with the phase 2 reopening of some facilities in Massachusetts, there is an allowance for in-person um, extended school year. But it will look different, and there is a priority system in terms of determining who the students are that will receive this in-person extended school year. So they have to have extended school year on their IEP designated, or have a summer program, or have year-round services to at first be eligible to be considered a high priority student. It's really for those students who are experiencing the most regression and lack of access to services currently. It's for those students who are receiving multiple services and those students that need more time to relearn to prepare them for reentry. So these are the more severely impacted students where remote learning was not working. It's probably not for students who, for example, a student with dyslexia who's just receiving academic support and services around that one disability type. So for those students, they'll probably still access remote service learning. And it's really to develop an in-person type of schooling for those students of the highest priority. And there are a lot of protocols that have been outlined in this additional guidance that you can find out. I'll probably put a link to it where you can find it on the Department of Ed website. These will be small classes with 10 students and two professionals in each class. There'll be the requirements of students to wear masks unless it was physically unable to, or for other reasons related to their disability. There will be social distancing, lots of other rules and regulations that schools have to follow to be able to open these in-person classes. But this is something new. This is something that we um, had been waiting for guidance for, and that has been issued. So I think this only came out yesterday, so each family will probably be notified by their school as to how extended year services will look for your student, whether it be remote, whether it be in person. And I suggest that CPACs contact their school district to find out how families are going to be contacted by the school, what's the timeline for this to happen, so that they can get a sense of, is the school district going to participate in in-person learning this summer, or is it just not feasible for that school district, so that they can help parents have the correct expectations of what's going to happen in just a couple of weeks, because we know these extended year services usually start right after the July 4th weekend. So there's been a change in Massachusetts. There is some options for in-person extended year learning this summer, but it's really on a case-by-case basis. And I think each family will be notified by their school as to what is going to happen for that student. So it's a change, and it's going to take a little time to figure out where we're at. And I encourage you that if you haven't heard from your school districts in a couple of days, that you just send them an email and find out what is planned for your student. So that's it for MassPAC Monday, and have a great day. And I hope you'll stay tuned uh, throughout the week at 2 p.m. for our live stream. Tomorrow is Transition Tuesday. Thank you. Have a great day.